Growing up in a small town and being surrounded by a lack mentality doesn't have to limit you. Even if the people closest to you have limiting beliefs, you can learn to reshape your self-image to be that city boy or city girl. In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can develop self-confidence, live your life with a clear vision, and we are also going to be solving world hunger all in one video. So if that's something you're interested in, then stick around. If you stumbled on this video, then probably like me, you grew up in the countryside. I grew up in the countryside of Ireland, basically being surrounded by open fields, cows, and lots of farms. And it's funny because a lot of families now, they dream of having this kind of lifestyle. Growing up, I did not share this lust for open fields and peaceful surroundings. All I wanted was to be surrounded by city life, the noise of the city, the people, the different events that would happen there. All of that I could do easily if I just lived in a city. And growing up, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, and I also didn't have a clear vision of what I wanted my life to be. And I was so identified with this thought that when I did move to a city, all of these negative beliefs and limits that I put on myself would just poof, they would just disappear. And I would believe this so much to the point that every day I would pray in front of my window that I would one day be able to live my life in a city. And guess what? This little dream of mine came true. Not exactly in the way that I expected, but nevertheless, I got into the course that I wanted in college, and I was going to get to live my dream life in a city. Nothing could beat the excitement that I felt when I got my acceptance letter, and the first semester of college was just around the corner. So after getting my wish fulfilled, getting to live in the city, do you think I was able to let go of all of those limiting beliefs and negative self-talk? Hell no. In fact, being surrounded by so many people and so much noise around me just heightened all of these negative emotions I had within me. I would feel more anxious. I would feel I wasn't good enough, and that I wasn't smart enough, and that all of those goals and dreams that I had in the past were just that, just dreams. They were dreams that I couldn't even go close to. They seemed so far in the distance. And you know what really motivated me to make this video? Is because at the time, I wasn't the only person who was struggling with this. You know, I had friends who are in the same boat, and hundreds of young people who grow up with these limiting beliefs and negative self-talk think of college as this golden ticket. You know, once I go to college, I will be able to make all the friends. I will have all this self-confidence. College will be the place where everything just falls into place for me. But this wasn't the case for me. And chances are, if you are seeing this video, then this is still a large problem we have in the lives of young people. And that's why I wanted to make this video. I want you to know that you are not limited by your surroundings or your limiting beliefs. You are so much more than that. What I had to learn was that self-confidence is a skill that you can train and you can get better at. If you grew up in an environment that didn't encourage you to express your authentic self and motivate you to go after your dreams, then chances are you didn't develop self-confidence growing up. Others may have grown up in an uplifting environment, and that's why things like self-confidence are natural to them. No one is born with perfect self-confidence, and knowing this, you can become motivated to work on self-confidence as a skill, not as this thing that some people are born with or some people are not. It's something you can develop. I think that self-confidence and self-belief are two of the most important skills to focus on. So let's get into how we're going to develop these skills. And I'm going to also get into what I learned from my own experience. You are a product of your conscious, repeated actions. Repeated actions or habits are the things that will shape your identity. For example, you might have a friend who does swimming as a hobby. They are someone who swims. It's part of their identity. It's part of who they are as a person. Another person might make friends easily, and they might be able to communicate their feelings. So they are someone who makes connections easily and communicates their feelings with ease. You know, that's part of who they are. Something that I really wish I knew growing up was that all of these identities, all of these attributes that I would see in other people, I could also achieve myself. It is possible for you to change your mindset into being someone who is self-confident and who believes in themselves. And I have another video on my channel about solo travel and how I was able to go on my first solo trip by literally going from square one to someone who travels and books trips with ease. So if that's something you're interested in, then check that out on my channel. So here are some small actions that you can take. Challenge yourself by making a conversation with someone new. And this is something a lot of people will tell you, and it might seem like a lot, but it can be really simple. It's easy to make a conversation with someone new if you have a clear idea of what you want to discuss. So if you are in college, make that excuse for yourself. Go up to someone and ask them what they think of this subject that you're studying, or what made them choose the course in the first place. One or two of these interactions won't completely transform your identity, but if you do this as a habit, then over time you will start to develop self-confidence. And you will be motivated to make more and more of these little interactions because you know by doing this you are practicing self-confidence as a skill. And that is a skill that you want to develop. For my people who have already gone down this path of working on their self-confidence as a skill, what were some small actions that you took that helped you develop self-confidence? Another small action would be sitting beside someone new in a lecture. You know, it doesn't have to be that very confrontational interaction. It can be something really small, like you can start off by, let's say you go into a lecture and you always have this like one seat that you're comfortable in. Pick a different seat every time and use that as sort of like a starter. And you can then slowly develop into making these little interactions happen. And chances are the people around you are going through the same thing. So don't be afraid to start a conversation. And a feeling that I've recently fallen in love with is feeling that I won't be able to do something, doing it, and feeling this shock, this disbelief that I was able to rise above my limiting beliefs and do it. And this feeling has become honestly addictive to me. Every time I do something that I was scared of, I get this immediate rush, this feeling of like, whoa, like that this actually happened. And it just makes me want to challenge myself more and more. And I hope that you also get to this point. The more you develop your self-confidence, the more new ideas and goals will come into your mind. Don't ignore these. These ideas and these little hunches can be used as guidance. Our subconscious mind is really smart. So when these ideas do come in, you might find it useful to write them down. Personally, I use this app called Drafts, and it allows me to actually make quick notes from my phone's lock screen. So literally right when an idea comes into my mind, I'm able to just tap and write out the idea. And there is also a way that you can organize all of your ideas with tags, which I found so useful. So definitely check that out. And if you want me to go deeper into how I set up my phone to limit distractions and use it as a tool, then let me know and I'll definitely make that kind of video. So if you've already started to develop your self-confidence, then you might want to start to outline what other positive traits you'd like to acquire. And you can treat it like a little game, and in this way it becomes fun. Let's say you've started to develop your self-confidence and you've become all of a sudden interested in acting. Make it a goal to join an improv acting group. In my opinion, the more of these positive traits that you develop, the clearer your vision and your purpose for life will be. I feel like as young people, we struggle with these feelings of not knowing what our purpose and our vision is. And this sort of feeling might actually not be what it seems. You know, you might have to develop these skills of confidence, self-reliance, self-belief for you to align yourself with what your purpose and your vision is meant to be. Because our natural states are not these negative ones. You know, we're not meant to live in fear, live just day by day, like not knowing what we're doing. Like we're meant to live freely and live in our authentic selves. So I truly believe that by getting more and more of these like positive skills like self-confidence, self-reliance, you will align yourself and you will go closer to what your purpose and what your vision is for your life. So let's go back to that city boy, city girl mentality. What do we think of when we think of a city boy or city girl? We think of someone who goes to parties, who has this huge group of friends, who's always just posting on social media. They're just everywhere, right? But I want to challenge you to look deeper into this. Your environment does shape your identity just as much as your self-belief does. Being in a city, you are surrounded by resources, by possibilities, and by people who have different goals and visions. Something that I think this archetype of a city boy or city girl does really well is utilize the resources that they have in the moment. It seems like they are able to make the most out of their financial situation, the place that they're in, and the things surrounding them. And you can do this too, no matter if you're living in a city or in the countryside. Don't see your surroundings as a limitation. Make a habit of picking out the things that you can utilize in the present moment and in your life right now. Start practicing gratitude and notice all of the abundance that you have in your life already. These days, people make millions with just a phone and an internet connection. So live your life in an abundant way and see as the doors just open for you. Visualize yourself getting up each day with clear goals and accomplishing your tasks with ease. Visualizing these things will help you develop an identity of someone who lives their life utilizing the resources around them. Walk and talk like a city boy or city girl. Walk with a clear vision and purpose. When you go about your day, adopt this confidence. Don't expect to fail. Expect that you will do the best you can with the present moment. You are capable and you deserve to live your life in a free and authentic way. So you are now working on your self-confidence. You have clear goals and you're adopting this abundance mindset. So look at you and listen, I knew you could do it. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. And if you like what I do here on YouTube, then consider subscribing. I will continue to make videos that will help and inspire a younger generation of people to align themselves with their dreams and to develop self-belief and self-confidence. And you can also find me on Instagram and TikTok where I do post some shorter videos, so check that out too. And yeah, thank you guys so much and I will see you guys in the next video.